I know there's been some difficulties with the intro. It's been kind of acting kind of weird, but what the heck? Like, it's been acting weird lately on the laptop, man. But hey, let's get on the next episode of the 49ers Round Check. And we got David McNeil and my boy Niner Game Podcast, Dion, and we got Melissa Rebel coming in the house. And our two other guys will be back. They'll be here shortly. So, what's on your guys' mind? We've been on a 2-game winning streak, man. It has to feel great in some ways.
Fellas?
Go ahead, Dave. Talk that talk, Dave. Talk that talk, man.
Injuries are on my mind.
Bingo.
I mean, Jimmy Ward's back for, not even a whole series. Wasn't it 3 plays, and then all of a sudden he has a broken hand?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of people are like, you shouldn't have rushed him back. I don't think it wasn't the hamstring, folks. It's his hand. It's a new injury. the poor guy is cursed. I mean, if you look at the early part of his career, he spent a lot of time off the field because of injury. And then all of a sudden, it started working out, and we started seeing the best of Jimmy Ward. But honestly, right now, Gibson's playing well. So, get well soon when it comes to that. The loss of Mosley, that honestly hurts a little bit because he was playing good. Travarius Ward plays so well. He's a really good corner. And the other team's forced to throw at Mosley, so Mosley got him a pick 6, And I could see him doing big things over the course of the rest of the year, but it really sucks to lose him.
Yeah, it is.
Another question that we need to answer is who replaces him. Do we move Demo outside, bring Womack in nickel? Do we leave Womack as the fourth guy, the second nickel, and start Ambry Thomas? I've seen practice video of Verrett, and he looks like he's working his way back in shape, but he doesn't look ready yet.
Give it a few more weeks at least because he doesn't look like the same shape. But to answer your question on that, I think Ambry Thomas is going to start because they fully trust him a little more. I would like to see Womack play personally. He looks like more of a dog.
I was listening to the Wayne Breezy show before this. They were saying that Diamador Lenore actually came out yesterday because of an injury.
Yeah, but Demo's fine.
So
he's okay. Like, there's nothing. I'm saying, like, as far as the injuries go, Diamador Lenore is not.
No. I'm not saying it's on the level of the others. I'm saying that's probably why Ambry came in and finished off the game because they were trying to avoid maybe, like, not only getting him hurt, but like then re-aggravating it or losing him long term. And they had lost a bunch of key players already, so that's why I think Ambry came in to finish off the game.
I agree with David. The injuries are definitely very concerning. The number one issue with that is that we have, Panthers World, we did win, and y'all cleaned house to an extent. Sorry, we got your head coach and your defensive coordinator fired. And the funny thing about that is I don't understand why the DC got fired. He wasn't doing a bad job. It wasn't his fault. That was Matt Rule and the offense. They were the ones who sucked ass. And then their third string quarterback, PJ, I think it's PJ Walker or something like that. He's going to start next week because Baker Mayfield has a high ankle sprain. So right after Sam Darnold is healthy, he's taking that starting job back. I guarantee it. Like, and here's the thing. So speaking of what happened with the Panthers, so they fired Matt Rule, they fired the defensive coordinator. What's going on, Brandon? And then they promoted Steve Wilkes to head coach. Now I'm going to take you back in time here. Some years ago,
Fangio,
before
Tom
Cliff
Sula.
Kingsbury, and before Kyler Murray. It was Steve Wilkes and Josh Rosen. And here's the thing. Steve Wilkes didn't get a fair shake. He didn't even get a chance. He was there for 1 year, had no time to really build that team because when he came in, the Arizona Cardinals were ass. They gave him 1 year, fired him, brought in Kingsbury. Kingsbury brought in Kyler. They kicked Josh Rosen. I mean, like, a lot of people got screwed in that situation.
Yep.
So, Steve Wilkes being the interim head coach, congratulations to you, sir. Hopefully they do well enough for the rest of the year to promote you to the full-time head coach because Steve Wilkes deserved a head coaching opportunity, and an opportunity isn't 1 year. And what really kills me about this is Jeff Fisher can hold the job for God knows how long, but Steve Wilkes can't get more than a year? Really? And Jeff Fisher had many losing years, many, and he never lost his job. But Steve Wilkes gets fired after 1 year for Mr. Cool, Clean Kingsbury, and look what he does. He does the same thing every year. Starts off hot, and then finishes crappy, gets to the playoffs, and gets booted right the fuck out. There's nothing to change. But the injuries that are concerning, honestly, is the Bosa injury. He's got a pulled groin. Pretty sure they'll sit him most of the week. The plus on that, and there's never a plus to an injury, but the plus on that is we could see a lot more Drake Jackson.
He looked pretty good.
I'm going to tell you right now, if I have Drake Jackson and Samson Ebukam coming off the edges, I'm very happy with that. You know why? Because that's speed and speed.
Speed. Yeah.
And you need that going up against a guy like Marcus Mariota, who is a mobile quarterback, and those are the types of quarterbacks we usually have a problem with. But if we get to him fast enough, we don't have to worry about him getting out of the pocket and trying to boogie for a couple of yards.
Oh, yeah. Drake's athleticism is off the charts, dude. He can be able to keep up with Mariota.
Drake Jackson already has two. Oh, hold the phone and leave that up here. Where the fuck was you at after we kicked your fucking teeth in? Oh, I mean every word of what I just said right now. Where were you at when we kicked your fucking teeth in? I want to hear shit. Don't come in here trying to be polite, trying to play because y'all was talking a whole bunch of shit, and I was looking for y'all after the game. All you Rams fans magically disappeared after we kicked your ass. And we only got a couple more weeks before we kick your teeth in again. And we're going to do it in Levi South. That's not SoFi.
They technically show up at SoFi. Oh, my bad. That was Cowboy fans. My bad.
So yeah, no, I'm coming directly for you when I say that because it was really, really crazy to me how all y'all Rams fans want to do preview shows, but then when we beat your ass, y'all nowhere to be found. See, if I'm on my shit. If I come in and I tell you we're gonna kick your ass and we lose and you have a podcast and you invite me on, I'll go there and I have to take the verbal ass whooping. You know why? I'm mad about my shit. And I ain't challenging nobody's manhood, not like that, but I'm just saying a lot of y'all Rams fans are running your mouth and y'all magically disappeared after we kicked your ass. Took y'all a couple extra days just to show up. So I don't even know why you in the chat right now, but
I mean,
he over here. Wait, look, he over here. What's up, my peeps? My guy CG. Great news. 2 more wins, and Kyle finally reaches 500 as Niners head coach 6 years into his tenure. Let me explain something to you. It's nice to have a head coach like Sean McVay, and it's nice to have a winning record. It's even nicer to have a Lombardi. Here's the thing. No one gives a fuck about your Lombardi because it was it was earlier this year, bro. It's already dead. We're in a new season. You got to defend that Lombardi. And after the way you got your ass handed to you by the fucking Cowboys, don't come in here talking shit. Please.
You know what's even crazy? They call themselves Rams House, but isn't that Jerry's house? He built that shit.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. And the craziest thing is you're saying that you're depleted. You know what you do? You play who's in front of you. I don't want to hear any fucking excuses. There is no way you can tell me, oh, you're depleted. This. Let me explain something to you. Your problem is you don't know how to implement other people into your offense besides Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee and Skoranek. You have Allen Robinson, who a lot of people feel is a really good receiver. Where the fuck was he at? He was playing. He was there the whole game. You barely targeted him. You have to play with the players that are on your team. The 49ers, since Kyle has been here, have been in the top 10 in one thing every single year. What is that? Injuries. Do you hear us bitching and complaining? No, we have to deal with the shit. So just same way we got to deal with it, you got to deal with it. We play whoever is in front of us, okay? And you're talking about depleted. Explain to me what depletions you guys had. You had both your running backs. Cooper Kupp was out there. Allen Robinson was out there. Tyler Higbee was there. Skoranek was there. So where the fuck is the depletion? Oh, is that shitty-ass offensive line you were talking about? That's what we doing? Nah, man. Like, nah. Okay, I mean, look, if you come for Niners every day, I did a podcast. I've done several podcasts. BGN Sports Report, I ain't seen you. I ain't seen nobody. Where y'all at?
I was going to put a milk carton for him, but I saw him earlier. So
you could leave, bro. You could leave your little links and all that crap to your bum ass parade that you did that had nobody was at and all that stuff, bro. You need to give me evidence that you were in several chats and you were actually taking that verbal ass whooping that we gave you after the ass whooping we gave you on field.
He was in Disneyland, bro.
That because I don't believe this. You're gonna leave this here for me.
So Rudy's talking about playing a depleted team. You know we were missing 6 starters, right, Rudy?
Hello.
Yeah, our tackle. We were on to our third string tackle.
Trent Williams, Mitchell. Look at the defense. Armstead, Kinlaw, Ward, and Azeez Al-Shaair. That's 6 starters.
May I say something real quick?
Oh, go ahead. Go right ahead. Sorry, I went on a little bit of a rant there. It upset me to see these people come in here.
So you're saying, as a Rams fan, you have the right to come at Niner fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why? So then, why can't Niner fans come back at Ram fans?
Yeah.
And then, second of all, you're saying you're depleted. Okay, and your offensive line right now is trash. Like, I don't even know if you're on your 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever stringers that you're on right now. But either way, you want to talk about depletions. Michael Parsons literally pulled his groin yesterday, was on the bike, hopping around, still playing and finishing the game, even when they're trying to wave him out and say, like, Micah, you don't got to finish this game, to continually play that game. So the beatdown that Stafford got last night could have actually been a hell of a lot worse if Micah Parsons didn't get injured.
Oh,
and you've been talking all this smoke about Niners and our bumness and not being over 500 and we don't have a quarterback and all this other stuff. But you have the quarterback. You have the ring. You've been shoving it down our throats that you have this ring to prove that Stafford is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So then why the hell can't Matt Stafford make something out of nothing and take the Allen Robinsons and the Hendersons and all these other players that are on your offense and make something out of nothing? I mean, Russell Wilson, for all the faults that we hate him, made stuff out of nothing for years with a bum line and still won games. So if this guy is who you said you were and you were throwing it in Niner fans' faces on different podcasts, why the hell aren't you manning up now and saying that, oh, well, Stafford is falling down? Like, you're coming at us about who we have on our roster, but you're not taking any kind of accountability, and we're not trolling you on your pages. You're trolling us on our pages. So if you don't like the clapback, don't come in here and knock at the Niner fans and the podcasters if you don't want the smoke back.
And another thing, go ahead and put that other one up before that one there, before he said that he was at work. My heart bleeds for you guys. We won the Super Bowls with injuries last year. Try that. So explain to me how you don't sound completely contradictory from what your comment was earlier. So you complained about having injuries and you were upset because we beat you with a depleted team. And I just named all the starters that you have. And then you sit up here trying to throw in my face that you won the fucking Super Bowl being depleted. So what are you saying here? You're not making sense. You sound really stupid right now. And I'm just being 100% honest with you. I'm keeping it a buck. Use your head and think about what you just said. Well, you beat us with injuries. We won the Super Bowl with injuries. Try that. You're not making sense. I need you to make it make sense, and I need you to start having clearer thoughts before you come in here trying to talk shit. Fuck out of here.
And the sad part is Cowboy fans are making fun of the Rams, and he's not even doing shit about it. You're going to let the Cowboy fans run you guys over? You're going to let Raider fans make fun of you? You got to pick
on a silent count yesterday. Almost every single Rams game is a silent count because any other fan base comes out in bigger droves than the actual family does. And guess what? Yeah, you had OBJ that got hurt in the Super Bowl. But guess what? If Cooper Kupp was really the top receiver in the damn league, and he had the Triple Crown, he had all these things that you kept rubbing in all our faces, how we don't have a number one receiver, then why the hell is Cooper Kupp so easily being shut down this year?
First off, what's up, everyone?
What's up, Moses? I know you want to say something to that guy. I know you want to say something. Go ahead.
First thing I come on here, had a good day at work and everything. I come on here and guess who it is? Ramelia. First off, dude, go hide under a rock. Go back under a rock. Your team is trash. What, one Super Bowl? Whoopee. You think you're a fucking dynasty? Your Rams ain't shit. Tell me when you win 5 Super Bowls. Then we got something to talk about. And first of all, why are you too damn scared to come and debate me? I called you out. I ain't going on to your low-rated show.
That's exactly what I just said, Moses. See, and he goes, and he runs out of here, goes, I'm at work later. But that's the problem. You talk all that shit, and you run your mouth as much as you do, and at the end of the day, you still have nothing to show for it. You're going to live on that Super Bowl for the next 15, 20 years because you're probably not going to win another one. And you're dead. The way y'all playing this year, you definitely ain't going back. I'm sorry. Wait,
man, the Niner D-line worked the shit out of the Rams offensive line.
Moses, just a quick question for you, good brother. Who's atop the NFC West right now?
Last time I checked was
all of us.
All
of us.
Wow. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull a New Day. It's the Niners. See, that's my problem. Like, my thing is, if I go on your show and I talk shit, I will be there if I get my ass kicked because I can own my shit. Y'all, on the other hand, you little lamb chops, y'all ran away. Y'all tripled up bad. We're running bad. We gotta go bad. I'm scared. That's exactly what the fuck happened. I'm sorry.
Now he's smashing Cam Akers.
Yeah, we can get back to the ass whooping we just handed the Panthers, but I had to let him know. I love how you showed the fuck up after we done kicked your ass, and then come in here and try to slide some little slick comments in here. Live on that Super Bowl for the rest of your life if you would like to, because at the end of the day, if you were so great, you wouldn't look as bad as you do right now, and you wouldn't be complaining about stuff. I just said every year since Kyle has been here, we've been top 10 in one fucking thing. And what is that? Injuries. So every single year,
and almost owning the Rams every single year,
and kicking the Rams' ass. Yes, okay. So you got a Super Bowl. Congratulations, nice Super Bowl ring, great time and everything. I'm still gonna tell you to the end of my days that your fucking parade was ass. Because I'll leave it at this, and we'll jump back into the Panthers because we don't need to spend no more time on the fucking lamb chops. Your parade was one of the worst winning parades I've ever seen in my life. Let me say this, and anybody on the panel tell me if I'm wrong.
Oh my God.
And this is facts. If the Cowboys won a parade, won a Super Bowl, don't you think the streets would be lined and littered with people? You wouldn't be able to breathe. If the 49ers won a Super Bowl, do you understand how crazy LA would have been? We'd have been every fucking where. That shit, there would have been a line from California to Arizona.
Not only that, but you would have Niner fans who couldn't get to California or couldn't get a room or something, celebrating in their own home states. The same thing with the Cowboys. The same thing with any of those big organizations that have fan bases everywhere. They would come to pubs, they'd take over streets, taverns, they'd be putting up the banners, they'd be live streaming their own little get-togethers and meetups on their own coasts. So it wouldn't just be where they play, it'd be everywhere.
Exactly. And that's the one thing that they don't have. You don't have a fan base like ours. You're not, but you don't have faithful. You have sometime ass fans and you have casual fans. You have
bandwagon fans.
Yeah, and a bunch of bandwagoners. They're like, oh, the Rams won the Super Bowl? Oh, cool. I'm just gonna go put that on. You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. Probably so. And the sad part is the Laker fans gonna be even more bored because they team is ass. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going no goddamn way.
And you guys don't even have like diehard. You don't even have like diehard celebrities who are fans of your organizations. You just paid a bunch of random actors to come sit in your luxury boxes during the Super Bowl.
Show did.
He was a Cowboys
They actually
fan.
panned the actors in the boxes, and they were like texting and talking to each other and eating. They weren't even watching the game. They were just there to be there for an event.
Yeah, because I can tell you right now, Roman Reigns, the WWE champion, the Usos, most of that family,
Niner
fans.
Bailey.
And y'all paying The Rock for appearance. He's a Niners fan.
Yeah. Oh, and wait, Snoop Dogg, diehard Steelers fan. Just let me know. You know what I'm saying? And we all know Eminem, he's from Detroit, so he has to be with the fucking Lions, which is an atrocity in and of itself. They got donated by the Patriots, which was horrid. Jesus Christ.
Hey, Dion, it's not even worth going on Ramilia's show. First off, it's a low-rated show. He has to pay people to be on the shows and comment. That's how pathetic that is.
Yeah, but what with what happened with the Panthers? Here's the thing, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna surprise a lot of people. I'm not mad at Jimmy Garoppolo. He didn't fuck it up. That was the whole key. He didn't fuck it up, and that's all we can ask. So for me, I ain't got nothing negative to say about Jimmy Garoppolo. As long as he doesn't fuck it up, that's fine. And that's all we're asking of him, and he did that. We had 4 drives in the red zone. We scored 4 fucking times. You know who I am mad at? The special fucking teams. Forget my goddamn kicker. Okay? Let me explain this to you. This could have been real simple. You know what they could have done and been real smart? They could have left Mitch Wisnowski in on kickoffs because Mitch knows how to tackle. Did you see Robbie Gould's attempt at tackles? It was pathetic. It was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. He didn't even want the contact. And he only got the contact to slow him down. And then
it shouldn't even got to that point. That special teams need to do a much better job.
And that's why I said I'm upset with the special teams because in the second half they wound up getting Robbie Gould hurt. And now most likely we got to bring in a kicker because if you didn't see, Mitch Wisnowski ain't kicking no goddamn field goal.
Can I ask you guys a question?
His life.
Who's in on that play? Was it Ross Dwelly and Ray Ray?
There were a couple of people on special teams. I can't exactly remember who, but at the end of the day, Blackshear had 2 big returns, and they were obviously both on special teams. And both of those times, like first, Robbie Gould tried to throw his shoulder. I don't know what the fuck he was doing on the first one. He just looked like he was confused. And then on the second one, that's when he hit his knee on that turf, and he basically wound up. They said it's a knee contusion, but it's probably gonna keep him out for at least the Atlanta game at a bare minimum. I'd just sign a kicker off the street, let him kick the field goals. I mean, we're not gonna ask much of him. It's the Falcons. It's not like we're really gonna have a ridiculous time with them, but it kind of is what it is, man. The other injuries with Bosa, who else got injured?
Jimmy Ward and mostly.
Yeah, but for me, Jimmy Ward, that's not a big deal. He can play with a club on his hand if he feels like it. And at the same time, do we really need Jimmy Ward on the field? Because we're having a good time with Mufanga and Gibson. And there's nothing against Jimmy Ward. I like him. I think he's a great player, but I don't really see that we need him at this moment. So if we want to take him, give him more time, let his hand heal up properly, fuck it. Why not? We seem to be balling and doing perfectly fine. I have no issues with Gibson. And we all know Mufanga's a fucking star. So, I mean, that's okay. But, I mean, honestly, outside of Jalen Moore getting beat on that sack for Jimmy by Burns, which Burns he's just too fast. He was too good. I guess the drops maybe. Debo having to drop, Kittle having to fumble. But other than that,
I was shocked about when Kittle fumbled.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Oh, yeah, I was definitely shocked on that one. And Crazy Juice, that is correct. That I'll tell you right now, if the Dodgers win the fucking World Series again, oh, you can forget it. Ain't gonna be nowhere to go. Them streets are gonna be lined and littered because we deep. We are stupid deep. Our fans come out and they actually go to games. And they don't have to say, whose house Dodgers house. They don't have to say stupid shit like that. Dodger fans are solid. We've been down with our team since the days of them being in fucking Brooklyn and then them coming to LA. Okay? And I was a kid in the 80s, but I'm talking Fernando Valenzuela, Oral Hershiser, Kirk Gibson, I'm talking cats like that. Like Dodgers really ingrained in Los Angeles.
Valenzuela had that evil knuckleball pitch.
Ooh, Valenzuela, he was nasty with that. But we gotta calm down on the Dodger talk. There's a couple people that don't necessarily care for how great we are. Yeah.
You know what? One thing, first, I'll shout out to Mosley. Get well. Keep your head up. The faithful got your back. And the second part is, did you guys see Dave Lombardi's was a tweet or a retweet about blaming Kyle Shanahan for Mosley's injury? That's the most stupidest shit I ever heard. And Dion, you know this. As defensive backs, we're taught to go to the highest point. It is unfortunate he came down wrong. That's how we're taught. And Dion, you know this. And for him to say that, all I gotta say is, Dave Lombardi, shut the fuck up. You don't know what it's like to play defensive back. That's how we're trained, to go to the highest point and attack the ball. If we come down and injure ourselves, then so be it. But shit happens. So basically, shut the fuck up already. That was stupid what you retweeted.
Dude, he looks like a hot shot of himself, bro. He doesn't even give a shit about the fans.
Bro, all he cares about is Jimmy Garoppolo, man. I'm pretty sure when he goes to sleep and looks up at the ceiling, there's a poster of Jimmy Garoppolo at the combine in his boxers and shit. Like this dude, Jimmy can literally do no wrong in his eyes. Like, he's never done anything wrong. He doesn't do anything that would hurt the team or anything. Over all these years, it's never been his problem. Like, come on, man. But Mosley being injured, that hurts. But I'll say this. Kyle was very, very cautious about saying if JV would start next week versus the Falcons due to his injury. Here's my thing. Rotate his ass in. You don't have to make him play the full game. How about you rotate him in between him, probably Ambry Thomas, or him and Sam Womack? Honestly.
No Ambry Thomas. No.
Don't worry. Womack out there. I was just about to say I like Womack way better. I would put Womack on the outside and leave Diamador Lenore in the middle. Over there in the spot.
That's what I want to see.
Diamador Lenore, man. Did you see how he got beat on those fades, bro?
Let me tell you this. This is the one thing about Diamador Lenore. He allows a lot of yardage, but you know what he doesn't allow? Touchdowns.
Nope. No, he's a good tackle.
I have touchdowns thrown on him. And giving up a lot of yardage, yes, it looks really bad. But I will say this. If you're not giving up touchdowns, kind of doesn't matter. If I let Cooper Kupp have a 300-yard game, but he didn't score, somebody could be like, well, why did you he caught all of those passes and whatnot, and he had 300 yards, and I'd look dead at the reporter and go, did he score? No? Okay. It's nice for the stats.
He also does let the bad plays get into his head, and he bounces back harder the next series.
Yeah.
And I respect that about his game.
The only critique I have about Lenore. Go ahead, CG.
Shout out to Grandizer, a Dolphins fan. He's a cool dude.
One thing about Lenore is move his feet. Yeah, that's the one thing I my critique about him. I'm not trying to hammer him, but he has gotten better. And I've hammered him hard on this show. But he is getting better. Just move your feet. Don't get caught in the peeking.
Yeah, you just got to be smart, man.
So, what's your thoughts of them potentially playing Ambry Thomas? I'm hearing reports that they're going to put him out there.
Man, I'm gonna pull all my hair out.
I don't like it. Ambry Thomas has not been looking good. He didn't even look good in the small time that we gave him yesterday.
And please don't bring back Dante Johnson. Don't.
Oh, he's on the practice squad. That's the sad part. We can promote his ass. I don't want him, please.
And then I don't know who was talking about it. They might bring. There was somebody was saying, or it's a rumor about bringing back Josh Norman or Drake Kirkpatrick. No,
they won't.
Do not do that. Don't do that, please.
Okay, there was one person who said it in jest yesterday. They didn't mean it seriously, and then said it again this morning to rile up a few people. But Josh Norman, I don't care how many times he punched out, it was not worth having him there and having 3 and outs constantly taken back due to his stupid, ridiculous, inexcusable penalty after penalty after penalty. No, maybe turnover makes up for all the calls that he extended because he constantly had to get a flag thrown.
King
is here, guys.
Hi, Antonio.
Hey, y'all. What's up, man?
Hey, Steph Curry.
Where you going, man? What's good? Where you going? You going to get something to eat, man? Bring your boy.
Are you looking for Draymond Green?
Yeah, I'm looking for Green, man. He's messing up our team chemistry, man.
I'm gonna tell you. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't go looking for Draymond. Real quick.
I heard he hits those light-skinned guys pretty hard. You know.
Hey, look, I don't care what nobody says. Let me touch on that for just a sec. Here's the thing, and Moses, Dave, I mean, everybody on this panel understands this. Melissa, you a Jersey girl, so I know you've seen some bullshit in your time.
Yes.
At the end of the day, I'm just gonna pose a question, Dave. If we're having a verbal sparring match, that's cool, right? But if I walk up and I push you with intent,
we're throwing hands.
All bets are off.
Throw them bows, throw them hands. Throw them bows.
All I can say is it makes absolutely no sense how Jordan Poole shoved Draymond Green, of all people, and thought there wasn't smoke coming his way. There's no way in hell I'm gonna like. The thing is, you play with this guy. You've seen him. You understand his reputation. You don't run up on a fighter and push him and then you not ready to fight.
Yeah,
so when people were like,
to get back though, you're the veteran, and I don't care what's going on in your personal life. Mm-hmm. Like there's pushing and shoving. There's like natural animosity between guys when you're practicing. We saw that this year with Ayuk and Ward and Warner and all the other stuff that was going on, and then Ayuk said the stuff about Talanoa because he was still pissed off that they were pushing his buttons. And that's all acceptable. But when you actually go up to someone when they're talking to somebody else, cold clock them across the chin, sucker punch them, and then nail them down to the ground, and you still keep throwing haymakers, I don't care what's going on in your personal life. I don't care what the hell happened on the court previous. That is just a bitch move, and the very fact that the rest of the team just stood around and let Draymond just wail on him is beyond pathetic.
I'll say that.
They should have broke it up though, man. Once they heard his voice getting louder, walk right to that situation.
Break that up.
I mean, he's done a lot.
And you saw it in the TMZ video, he had that fucking flip switch, Draymond Green, I'm about to mess somebody up kind of thing, and you saw him kind of creepily crawl into the video, and then he sucker punches him and then nails him to the ground. You could have maybe let him hit him first to make sure that he was going to actually do something first and then get involved. But the very fact that it kept going on and it got leaked out and everything, it's just a really bad look for
that video.
I will say this from that video. I'm not mad at Draymond. Not at all. You know why? You shoved me like Jordan Poole shoved me. I'm gonna punch you in your fucking face. And there was for me, I'm sorry. There was nothing. There was no sucker punch in that. You initiated that contact. Be ready for the repercussions.
You invited the fight.
A sucker punch is when you have no idea what's going on. You didn't provoke someone, and they just walk up and punch the shit out of you.
Hey, Dan. One thing we do. We come from the streets. We never ever let a man violate our space like that.
Nope. If they're arguing like that, you know what you do? Somebody else comes up on the team and looks and says, "Hey, look, let's just stop." But if it doesn't get that far, you say, "I'm gonna let these two men handle this like men," and you shove me like that, and I cold cock your ass, you deserved every bit of that punch. You know why? Because you did not prepare yourself for what was to come next. I'm telling you, I say this all the time is because it's true. I am from Los Angeles, California. I am an 80s baby. I have seen some really fucked up shit. I have seen some really fucked up fights, and I've seen some dudes get their ass handed to them. And I've watched people not be ready. You can't push people. You can't step on somebody's shoe. You can't do certain things and then think, oh, it's okay. I'm just going to leave it at that. No, you are not going to get away with that. They're going to come for you. And when they come for you, you need to be ready to defend yourself.
Hey, Matthew Navarro, you're a pretty cool person, but Ambry Thomas ain't the solution. I can tell you that part.
Not the solution.
I mean,
so you guys rather have Dante Johnson?
So you're shitting on Lenoir, you're shitting on Womack, you're shitting on everyone but Thomas.
Don't shit on Womack. Womack gotta be that guy, man.
Womack, I like to see what he got.
Even if you were a Michigan fan, I don't understand how you could say everyone else is crap and Ambry Thomas has to be the answer. Like, Ambry Thomas had all the leeway last year because Lenoir had some off the field issues last year, and Ambry was given that time to screw up Bosa sacks and all the other shit during the Bengals game and everything else. And yes, he had the key interception that helped us go to the playoffs, but one play does not make up for all the other struggles that he's having right now. It's like Spoon. Spoon had that one really big interception in the Buccaneers game to start off 2019, but Spoon constantly got in his own head, and he started to become a liability because he just couldn't get over the bumps and bruises that come with playing that position.
Yeah.
Let me in Pittsburgh either. He hasn't even played up to his level.
Yeah, he did, and unfortunately, Ambry Thomas has been buried on the depth chart because they don't even go to him first. They usually go to Sam Womack next. But let me ask. Let's do a little round table. Dave, what did you like about the game?
What I like about the game, I mean, I like how our defense continues to play ferocious. I like, Garoppolo getting rid of the ball, Kittle, Mawson fools, Tevin Coleman, Mawson guy, Debo with that touchdown. I wish Sammy would have played a little better, but I'm just happy we walked out with a win, man, because that's what it's about, man, because we're in first place right now. In our division, they sinking. So we got to keep collecting these dubs, man. And I hate that Nick Bosa got injured, man, because he was on a pace. He still can get Defensive Player of the Year, man, because he was first in everything. Number one. So like I said, man, our team is just gelling right now, and we still got to get guys back like Trent, Elijah at some point, man. So much depth, and I'm just excited about the next game. Atlanta, hopefully they don't overlook Atlanta, because the Chiefs are after that. So that's what I hope. They travel across the country, and that's kind of an underrated thing about this next game. We can easily look at it like it's an easy game, but traveling across that country, man, or early morning game. I don't know, but like I said,
we're not traveling. We stayed.
No, we're staying at the Greenbrier again.
Oh, okay.
So they've been staying at the Greenbrier in West Virginia.
Yeah,
and they take the entire resort over. They have the practice fields there. They have professional masseuses there. They have everyone that gets treatment, and they can practice. They can have like bowling events and all the other stuff. Yep. When they're not preparing for the game. So they stay on the East Coast so that way there's not that whiplash of going East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast within the 2-week period.
It still could be a letdown game. I don't want that to happen.
No. I'm not saying that they can't overlook the Falcons. I'm saying that this place that they found is a really top of the notch elite place that a lot of teams are now starting to stay at.
Hey CJ, I'm gonna make a comment on Dion's question, and then I got a dinner date with the wife.
Okay.
So as far as what I thought about the game, I love the fact that Mooney Ward slapping them, defending them, that ball. My God, you know what that reminded me of? I know he's not at that level, but that was so much of a Deion Sanders. Get that shit out of here.
That touchdown pass that he blocked. Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah. 4 past the focus too.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I was very happy. He worth every penny, like John Lynch says. I was very happy with the DBs until Mosley got hurt. I mean, he did everything right. It's just unfortunate. But overall, our defense is solid, doing their thing. I'm glad. I'm gonna go quote what Deion said. As long as Jimmy G don't fuck up, we're good.
We
Hey.
good, y'all.
The Chiefs are sleeping.
Hell yeah. Hey, I'm out, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all next time.
All right, man.
Yeah,
But
man.
you'll be back next week.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too, CG. I'll be good, ready to go.
All right, y'all.
No biggie,
All right.
man.
All right, peace out.
No biggie, because he had overtime and he was doing overtime shift, and I think you wanted to go to your wife and all that, so it's all
Yeah,
good.
nice thing. Dave, talk to us, man.
Come on, Dave, you're the star, man. Your turn.
So, so when we have to bring in someone, and with Mosley being gone, obviously another defensive backs is going to be signed. Who do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be the bad penny? The guy that always shows up, Dante Johnson? Or do you think it's going to be? I would honestly rather have Darqueze Dennard myself.
Oh,
I think they'll promote Dante from the practice squad because he already knows the system.
Well, didn't Dennard get hurt in preseason, and that's why he had that big?
No, Dennard didn't get hurt; he just got beat out.
How about we make a call for Joe Hayden to come out of retirement?
I'll take Joe Hayden. I'll take Joe Hayden off the couch before
I don't think he's officially. I don't think he's officially retired completely. I think it has to be convincing for him to come back.
Yeah, and he probably wants to come back for a contender, which currently as of right now we are. But keep going, Dave. We need more from you.
So, our offensive line. So Brunskill was in the game at left tackle toward the end of the game, and Jimmy G had some time from that side. So I was saying last week, if the guy can play, let's put him in at left tackle, and they started Jalen Moore. And Jalen Moore is actually more of a guard type. He doesn't have the necessary athleticism to play the tackle. I'm not saying he's bad. I honestly think Jalen Moore's a pretty good guard. Backup guard.
Brunskill's not that bad of a tackle. Like, he's kind of held his own in 2019 when it came down.
Exactly. In 2019, when he was filling in for Joe Staley, he did really good. Mm-hmm. So, it seems to be like he can play the position. I 100% want to see him at left tackle. But then that brings up the whole. I have no faith in Brendel. I still don't have faith in him. The center makes the calls on who's blocking who, the coverage, and I think that's part of the problem with what goes on with Jimmy's protections. Not getting enough time. So, but what do you do in this case? All the veterans are signed. There's no one really available. Put Brunskill there after the Silverback gets back, or do you put? I have problems pronouncing his name. Is it Zekel?
Nick Zakel.
Zakel. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, or do you put the rookie in? With plans to actually start him in the future, and let's go through some growing pains because we got Burford and Banks in there right now, and we're already. Those guys are improving though. They're getting better as they go. I fully expect them to be in stride around mid-season, if not a little bit after.
I actually have my own theory about that when you're done about the center position, because I honestly think that since about 2019, 2020, when Richburg and Ben Garland both went down with injuries and then they just could never come back, a lot of our offensive plays come through Kyle Juszczyk, because it's been said, it's been notarized in pressers and statements and interviews and stuff that Kyle Juszczyk was kind of that guy when Alex Mack wasn't available, or when Brunskill was in on 2019 when they were trying to force him to be a center. Oh, 2020. But I don't think Daniel can handle it inside that well. I think he really struggles inside, except for when he had a lineup against Aaron Donald, which for some reason he just has figured out Aaron Donald. Personally, I'd rather him play tackle. I think that's just what he's strong at. I think that's what he's natural at. He's proven to be able to do right tackle or left tackle, depending if School was struggling, and so he would have to come in for Justin School when Justin School was still here. I think that we have a few different people on the practice squad because they are trying to find that like long-term person at center, and I think Brendel worked really well with Trey Lance because they had that whole like off season and like the practice and all the other stuff to kind of work together, so they kind of like understood each other. But I think Brendel can't kind of like maybe step it up further and be able to accommodate a different quarterback. And I think that with Nick Sakel and Donovan West and Jason Poe and some of these other people who might be stronger inside, if they don't have exactly all the reps at center, could do a better job. Because at the end of the day, I'm kind of sick of all these like random veterans just brought in, like a JC Treader that was asked about before the season started, or an Alex Mack, or all these other older veterans that are kind of like burnt out on their last legs of their career. And it's just, I just wish if the Shanahan offense really was predicated on a center, which we've all heard 1,000% over, that they would actually invest and develop a guy so that like Kyle Juszczyk wasn't the one calling out the protections, that we could have like someone really solid there that anchored it. So when guys went down at right guard or left guard or tackle, it wouldn't be like pulling hair out, constant like fear of the fans because they have no idea how this line is going to anchor back. So I wish they would take whoever they have faith in and just put everything in that one guy and develop him and not constantly rotate, because Brunskill was getting like 60% of the snaps or center in the preseason. And then they decided to kick him to the outside after a while. And it never makes sense the way that they take these guys who are a natural guard and then try to make them a tackle, or a tackle and make them a guard, or that they want to kind of had it with Creed Humphrey, who couldn't slide all over the line and do all these different positions. Because, I mean, he did the same thing with our defensive line. We tried to force Solomon Thomas to become an edge rusher, and clearly he's an inside guy. You know, Arik Armstead, like, he wasn't the worst edge rusher, but clearly his motor is better at defensive tackle. So it's just it's frustrating because I think Brendel can be good, not great, but at the end of the day, if you keep saying that that's the key part of your offense, and Kyle Juszczyk, I'm hoping one of the days or later moves on, you're going to need that guy in the middle to be able to call something. So it's worrying, but it's not like the worst thing right now, sadly. That's still the kicker position.
Well, I have to agree. I mean, if the center is a huge part of our offense, why were we using a guy that has been a career-long backup? And I mean, I think he's 29. Isn't Brendel 29?
Yeah.
29, something like that.
Kept by so many teams.
And yeah, he was on the Dolphins. I mean, I think he's a 7-year vet, if I'm wrong. But he, you know what? Why are we using the guy that's been a backup his whole career as our starting center? You know?
And I think what also hurt him was I think they were hoping, you know, to have him there for the 2020 season to learn under Garland and Richburg, because, you know, they kind of saw that they had to constantly be changed up because neither one of them stayed healthy through that Super Bowl run. And then COVID happened and Brendel sat himself. And so I think through the 2021 year, they were like, well, you kind of flamed out on us like last second saying that you were to sit yourself. So we're going to go get Alex Mack, who Kyle has experience with, who's free, who can sign a multi-year deal, and we'll let you develop with our future quarterback, you know? And then when Mack retired this year, I think they decided, okay, well, we really have to invest heavily in our defensive back, so we're going to go with you and give you one last shot. And I think he's done well, but he hasn't done well enough, you know?
Yeah. Well, what bugs me, I mean, this happens to every center and quarterback. You know, there's always a missed exchange that ends up being a fumble every now and again.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's doing it about once a game. I don't know if he did it the last game. I didn't actually get a chance to watch it, unfortunately.
The Alex Metcalf had those
TV.
weird things where he just like flew the snap out too fast or too slow, or it'd be fumbled like last year too. So like, I really would wish that that's one of the things that we take seriously this year. We invest heavily in a center and a field goal kicker, because those are two things that we've really neglected over the years.
Yeah, I mean,
well, Robbie Gould's hurt right now.
But it's not the first time, though.
We're going to sign an off-the-couch guy?
Well, that's what we've had to do 2 times already. We did it in 2019 with Chase McLaughlin, who screwed up the Seahawks game in overtime. We had to do it again with last year with Joey Sly, and I actually preferred Sly over Gould because he was better at what I thought was the need last year. He was better at the long-range field goals, and he kind of struggled with the intermediate stuff, or the extra points, or like the closer stuff. But that 50, 60, like when we are struggling to move down the field stuff, Joey Sly was kind of better at that. So at the time, I preferred Joey Sly over Robbie Gould. But then Robbie got his job back, and then we cut Sly, and now he's on another team. I believe currently the Commanders. And then Chase McLaughlin, like, he had been perfect all the way to overtime, and then he just completely shanked the ball. So it's just, I don't know if it's like you have a veteran kicker and you should just have someone on your practice squad just in case of like those times that he can get injured, or you save him for like the bigger games so that way his leg sticks fresh. But that's just one of those things that's been kind of like an irk for me personally as a fan, that we keep just hoping and praying that Robbie's consistent enough and healthy enough that we can get by with Robbie Gould.
That's strange, Corey. It says 10 a.m.
So yeah, what are you talking about? 9:30. Where do you see 9:30 at?
I don't know. Corey was asking me that on the inbox earlier, and I told him, dude, it has to be 10 p.m.
Yeah, it's a 10 a.m. game. It's always 10.
Maybe the station in Richmond might have got it wrong. I don't know.
Probably so.
Maybe it says 9:30 because that's pregame.
Pregame stuff, yeah. Oh, here's my favorite guy, Tommy. But speaking of centers, I don't understand why we can't even do any better. I played center, and I know how to communicate. I know how to snap a damn ball. If I screw up, it's on me. But come on, is that the best we could settle at center? Brendel sucks.
I mean, we have Jason Poe, we have Nick Sikel, we have Donovan West. We already have people that are currently on our practice squad. We had other people here that were cut.
Blake Cants, we'll see.
I mean, the one I hated the most that was, I think, brought back was Sutherland. I didn't understand why the hell he was getting snaps, but.
Well, at the end of the day, even though we don't necessarily care for Jake Brendel, he is the center. We're going to have to deal with him all year. Just like us not necessarily caring for Jimmy Garoppolo, he is the quarterback. We're going to have to deal with him all year. So he's going to have to just do the job, continue to try his best to continue to get better. For me personally, I think that Brendel's a better option than any of the other guys that we had, and the team does. So my grade for Jimmy, give Jimmy a B.
Solid B, not bad.
Yeah, solid B. Not gonna give him a B plus. Nothing higher than that, but I'd give him a B. Just like I said, he did not. That's the last 2 games. Jimmy Garoppolo has not screwed it up, and that's all we're asking. So if that's what you're gonna do for the rest of the year, fine by me. As long as you don't fuck it up.
I gave him a C- at best, and that's just me being nice.
No, that's cool. And the nice thing about it is the offense actually scored 30 points.
Well, technically, pick 6, but still.
Well, no, but I'm saying we scored 37, so you take away that pick 6, it's just 30 points.
Okay.
And we scored in every corner. We were 4 for 4 in the red zone. Like, things worked out for us. So I'm not going to throw any slander on his name. at this present time because I don't feel like he deserves it because he didn't mess up.
But I also I respect you and I respect Breezy and I respect all the people who are giving him his just desserts or however you want to phrase it. I can't stand him. I mean, I lividly have a ball of hatred in my belly for this man. I cannot stand him. I cannot stand the protectors of him, the people who say that we deserve to give him props. The ones that really irritate me the most are the ones that say, "Oh, Jimmy had a no interception game this week. Let's praise him." These are not things that you should have to praise and keep track of and hope from one week to the other that your quarterback is not turning the ball over. These things are just so silly when it comes to this person in general. It just it rubs my nerves to the rawest edge, and I literally want to go Jersey on some people and just lash out and really just shake them silly. What the hell are you seeing? Because I cannot stand this guy, and I don't understand how anyone, even the most observant, nonchalant, emotional person, can come on a podcast and say, "Let's give Jimmy his due." Because Jimmy, at this time and place, he's just something that we have to deal with. To me,
yeah, and
I can't do it. I literally will get myself sick if I have to try to give this guy props. That doesn't mean that I can't say that I'm wrong about other people, because I've been wrong about Aaron Banks. I've been wrong about Demetrius Flannigan-Flowers. I literally thought he was trade bait this year. There are plenty of other players I can admit that I was wrong about, and we all have those kind of people who we can't do it about. And that person for me is I cannot at this time and place. And that one time I did. We all were fans of him, but at this time and place, and after everything that we've gone through, and all the bitter wars, and the nastiness, and the crudeness, and the bullying, and all the other shit that we've had to deal with it when it comes to this particular quarterback, I cannot go back and just, even for 1 week, say he had a good week. I don't blame him for the Debo thing. I think Debo just dropped the ball. That was not on Jimmy. I'm not going to blame Jimmy. But I'm also not going to give him and say, "Oh, well, you get a pass because you had one bad throw that was dropped,"
Yeah, I'm still going to criticize Jake Brendo because he's proved me right otherwise. I think we can do better at center. Jimmy Ward, you've been rushed out too early, but we'd be all right without you, man. Get better. Like the way how Steve Smith says it best. I sup, son.
Yeah. I mean, and I completely understand you, and everybody knows that I am definitely not a Jimmy Garoppolo supporter.
No, but you're trying to be.
I'm just saying that
a fan of the team in general, and I respect that. I personally cannot do that. I'm never gonna tear someone who says, "Okay, well, Jimmy had a good day today," or let's say Jimmy didn't screw up today, or Jimmy was really solid this day, or we can win a Super Bowl with him. And if he wins the ring, I promise you, I will not be here or anywhere else in any chat and say, "Oh, yay, Jimmy Garoppolo won us the ring." I'll be glad for the team in general, but it doesn't mean I will have to support the quarterback himself.
Melissa, remember, it's the playoffs. He doesn't do anything in the playoffs. So
no, but I'm just saying, because everyone keeps coming at me. They're looking at my DMs. They're like, "Well, what if he gets that ring? What if he's that next quarterback that goes to Steve Young and Joe Montana?" And I'm like, it's not going to change anything.
You know what? Okay, but you know what you remind them of? All you do anytime you get any messages like that, you just put his playoff stats in that chat. That's your reply. His playoff stats.
Well, they're like, "Oh, Jim Michael Hasty dropped the ball," and I've gotten those kind of things too. I've gotten all those people.
Okay, just put his playoff stats and leave it at that. Don't even reply or even read the messages. Because we all know JaMychal Hasty ain't 7 foot fucking tall. That's why he didn't the ball. You don't loft the ball way up in the fucking air and then expect JaMychal Hasty, who's like what 5'8", 5'9" or something.
It would not be the first time either that if let's say we did get in that scenario where we were competing for the Super Bowl and we did win. I don't have to refer the quarterback. I can refer everybody else because guess what? A couple of years ago when it was Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Chiefs, I was rooting for Jason Pierre-Paul because I think that the national media, New York media specifically, and the Giants organization screwed him over when he had that accident with the firecracker and they gave him 1 year deal after 1 year deal and got mad at him for having any kind of wanting to have some kind of longevity or any kind of like leeway or something to settle back on after what he had gone through. And Adam Schefter had bought his medical files and leaked it onto ESPN. That's how he got the position that he has now. And it bothered me. So when my brother was saying I was just being a spiteful Niner fan rooting against the Chiefs, no, I was rooting for the player that I had watched go through all these different struggles and handle it with class and everything else. And he was being able to compete for a Super Bowl again. And that defense was special. That was something that I enjoyed watching. So that's what I rooted for. I didn't root for Tom Brady. I didn't root for Gronkowski. I rooted for those young players who have never been there before, and the one player who had been that I had been a fan of for many years.
Yeah, crazy juice. Yeah, you already know how everybody feels, man. We all know that's the truth.
But hey,
the people are gonna continue to say that. There's gonna be people that support him. The media is going to continue to keep focusing on him and give him montages and explain how great of a guy he is and all.
Oh my god, the worst one was Troy Aikman after the Rams game. Did you hear the nonsense that he just?
I didn't. I don't listen to Troy. I'm telling you right now, I don't listen to Troy. Here's the problem.
Well, it couldn't be helped because it's Monday Night Football, so that's where he is now.
Here's my problem with Troy Aikman. First of all, he's a Cowboy, so I don't like the Cowboys. Second of all, it breaks my heart because he's a UCLA quarterback.
But he went to Oklahoma.
Went to UCLA, huh?
He did went to Oklahoma in the beginning, then he went to UCLA.
Yeah, but he's a UCLA quarterback. That's where he made his bones. You know, I know you love your Sooners.
We're trash this year, man.
He came to my Bruins to
yeah, he did. He sure did. I'll give him that.
Here's the issue. You went to UCLA and didn't gain not a bit of knowledge. You dumb as shit. UCLA has one of the best medical programs in the fucking world.
Tommy, that's not saying much because I think Jimmy G is literally psycho killer, psycho looking.
He looks like
I want to
from Full House.
Absolutely, like just take my phone or even take my 60-pound poodle and just block the screen whenever I have to see that disgusting grin of his.
Did you ever see the Rich Eisen part where he praises about Jimmy's freaking looks? Like that is strange, bro. He needs to
no, hey, I'm gonna tell you right now.
They all do it.
There are a lot of dudes that do that. It gets
that is gay, bro.
Okay, look, man. At the end of the day, whatever your preference is in life, no one gives a shit. No one cares.
But Rich Eisen is weird.
Okay.
You don't need to be on television.
I don't know if you've ever seen this, but if you've ever seen NFL Network way back when they had Kay Adams and Nate Burleson still there, during that 2019 run, Kyle Brandt literally would salivate over his picture every week and talk about how much he was in love with Jimmy Garoppolo.
And that's
like
my
it was beyond creepy.
Yeah. Oh, and Tommy Huxley.
And that's not me taking hot shots at anyone who likes the same sex or is married to the same sex or is attracted to the same sex. I'm not. I'm just saying the creepiness for me is the obsession with his looks and his chin line.
And families are fawning
male, female, whether you think yourself as a they, them, or however you identify, just anyone who is attracted to him or talks about his chin line, I don't understand you, and I'll never understand you.
Dude, you know what Jimmy got replaced by in the last few months? He got replaced on Subway by Russell Wilson. And he lost his job to Trey Lance, but he can go to Jimmy John's.
Hey, look, I don't care what nobody said. Okay, first of all, really quick to to address Tommy. You can say whatever you want. At the end of the day, the Trojans and the Bruins are both 6-0. So just remember, when we come and kick your ass, don't cry. Don't give me no bullshit. Just take this ass whooping that we're gonna lay out to you.
I'm a new Trojan fan.
I'm rooting for you guys, man. I'm rooting for you guys.
I'm a new Trojan fan.
Beat Lincoln Riley.
You're a new Trojan fan. What do you mean new? You're from Jersey. How the hell did you become a Trojan fan? I need an explanation.
Talanoa Hufanga is the reason why I started watching USC this year.
Oh God damn it!
I didn't get into college football until this very season, like right when it started. Like I didn't pick a team. I hadn't I hadn't watched college football at all. Like I tried when I was younger. I tried to watch Rutgers, but Rutgers is just like hot.
You're breaking my heart.
Hot trash.
You're really breaking my heart right now.
No, Funga. I've loved this guy since we picked him, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start rooting for USC, and I started watching it, and I got into it, and I love Travis Dye and Addison and Eric Gentry and Caleb Williams, and I'm really enjoying watching these guys.
Check out the Reggie Bush days. Check out the Reggie Bush days. Those were the days in USC.
Yeah. I'm
not lying. Like I didn't start just because they were on a roll and winning and like undefeated. I literally just decided one random day. I had Dufu. I said, like, you know what? I like a few Trojans that we have on our roster. I'm gonna try this out, and then I kind of got addicted to the players they did have. So I don't know the history. I don't know the rivalries. I don't know anything. I'm not gonna front. I'm not gonna lie.
SC and UCLA is the biggest rivalry, one of the biggest rivalries in LA.
I've understood from you. I've understood that from you for a while now. I'm not saying like I don't know like the great players. Like I'm still starting to like just learn some of the past players from them.
You used to work for USC.
So like
I used to work for SC.
It freaks me out when I learn like Clay Matthews was a Trojan, and I'm like, I hated Clay Matthews with a passion to this day.
USC put out.
How about Taylor Page? Go check him out. Pete Carroll. Coached in.
But I'm just gonna say this, and I'm being honest. I will give USC credit where credit is due. They churn out NFL talent year in and year out, and you literally have. Like, look at it like this. Matt Castle never played a game at USC, but he did get drafted. That motherfucker saw the field from the sidelines and never got – but he did get drafted. So, is their program great? Do they churn out stars? Yes. When I worked for SC, they asked me to work the USC-UCLA game. They overbooked. They overbooked people to work. And when I got there, they told me, hey, you can go and enjoy the game. We got more than enough people. So I'm at the Rose Bowl, which is UCLA's home. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I take my work shirt off, have on my UCLA shirt. I had wristbands, I had the hat, all that shit. They looked at me like I was out of my fucking mind. They were like, wait, you work for us? I was like, oh, I'm a diehard Bruin fan. That will never change. That's a job. Okay? That's all that is. And then to top it all off, this is just unfortunately my experience. I worked in their bookstore, and the athletes don't get their books. Mm-hmm. You basically get a list, and you go pick their books out for them. You put them in a downstairs room, and the athletes all come in. There's a card sitting up there, and they just go get their books. Mm-hmm. Offensive lineman, Gentle Giant, comes to me. He says, hey, man, I think there's a book missing off my list. So I looked, I was like, oh, okay, man, let me go get that for you. I come back downstairs, Reggie Bush, and I was working there when he was there. Reggie Bush is laying into one of the other guys. Where's my book? What the he's going hard. So I looked and I'm like, I know this guy. He's calm. He's not going to say anything. He's thinking, shit, this is Reggie Bush. Enter Dion. I don't give a fuck who you are. So I walked up and I told him, I was like, Amit. He's like, yeah. I was like, I got this. Just go on, man. And I looked, I was like, what's the issue? Well, Mr. Hart, so first of all, hold up. Take the bass out your fucking voice. Let's start there. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck what you've done for this school. I don't give a shit about none of that. Take the bass out your voice and respect me as a man because you want me to respect you as such. Yeah. So take the bass out of your voice and talk to me like you a normal fucking human being. Otherwise, you go upstairs to go get your own fucking books, you lazy bastard. And he looked at me. He was like, do you know? I was like, I don't give a fuck who you are, Reggie. Yes, everybody knows who you are. It's kind of obvious who the fuck you are. But that does not mean you get to be a dick to people who are helping you out. You could go pick your own books. But you have the luxury of us getting them for you. If somebody makes a mistake, all you have to do is say, hey, man, you missed a book. Can you go grab it for me? Instead of all this fucking rah-rah shit that you're doing. You ain't no fucking body. You from San Diego, man. You ain't shit. Don't come over here. You in LA now. Okay? Yeah. You grew up in San Diego. Don't act like you fucking hard. You ain't shit, bro. And I know that your family got some gang ties, but that shit don't mean nothing to me because mine does too. So what the fuck are we about to do right now? I was like, what book are you missing? He was like, this one. I was like, all right, I'll be right back. And I came back. I took the book. I threw that motherfucker on the table and it slid onto the floor. He was like, so you just going to do my book? I was like, bro, do you want the book? It's right fucking there. Pick it up. Pick that shit up like a forced fucking fumble and get the fuck out of here. I was like, and if you ever come back here and you talk to Amit like that again, I'm going to tell the fucking manager and I'm going to go to the dean and let him know that Mr. Bush likes to be a dick. And after that, nobody ever had no problems out of him. And everybody looked at me like I was crazy, like, yo, bro, you know, I'm like, what y'all have to understand is don't let people's heads get so big that they feel that
people get heads like that because they have a bunch of people around them that
like,
cater and deal with the tantrums and the nonsense, and they need someone to keep it real with them.
No, and the crazy thing is there's a lot of people that said they met him and he's a nice guy. And he probably is. But in that moment, he was an asshole.
Yeah.
And you don't treat people like that, bro. Because at the end of the day, one thing that we all know, and it's an old saying, you know, I think it's weird. It's like basically like, don't cross somebody because you don't know when you might need them. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's just normal human treatment, man. Be fair to people. Don't be rude. Don't be disgusting like that, man. Just, hey, man, can you grab this for me? Now, don't get me wrong. If the situation would have been reversed and he'd be like, can you get this? And homeboy flip the fuck out, then yeah, okay, you in the wrong. Don't do that. But when you acting like that, man, somebody got to check you. And it took me to check him because I knew Amit. He's a really nice Indian kid. He was literally from India. He's here on a visa to go to school and to work. And he just keep comfortable and calm. He was a cool kid. He ain't out here he don't know what the fuck is really happening. A lot of people, when they come from other countries, to be honest with you, the number one thing that they struggle with in the English language is sarcasm and knowing when they're being insulted. I kid you not. I've met so many people from other countries and they will not catch shit. And I would tell them, you know, he just insulted you, right? What? Yeah. You didn't catch that? Oh, you gotta open your eyes and your ears a little bit more. A whole other world.
That's kind of like interesting how you had these little stories, man. But hey, man, this is getting pretty long. I want to see the rest of the matchup, but you guys want to do a final conclusion?
I appreciate you sharing that story. That's not going to keep me from rooting for the Trojans, but
I
was not a Reggie Bush fan to begin with. But that actually, the funny part is I'm trying not to smile while you're telling the story because that kind of reminds me of my own story that my dad told me. We had this gym when we moved, and it was, I don't know if it's by you guys, it was a brand name gym. It was called Crunch. It was really big before COVID happened. And at the time, Victor Cruz was a big deal here, right? Like all the kids were in love with him with the salsa dancing and all the other stuff. And so they had this big like indoor track like for 100-meter and all this other stuff, like all this other junk for athletes to work in the back area, and then the normal people like us would be in the front area. And so my dad went there one day, and I guess I was busy with my mom, and I was helping her out with stuff, and he saw this. And Victor Cruz at the time was like the big athlete coming off the Super Bowl and all the other stuff, and you know all the kids were in love with him because he's that big famous Spanish player, and everyone was like waiting for that big Spanish player to break out after Mark Sanchez kind of flamed out. And so all these kids came up to him, like, were asking for pictures or autographs and everything else. And he was just sitting at the juice bar, literally put his headphones in, pulled his hoodie down and like ignored them. And then they give them like the stink eye, or he like brushed them off, or he like batted kids away or something. Like he was like all introverted. And so at the time, Justin Tuck, right before he went to the Detroit Lions, felt bad for these kids, went over to them, knowing that he was leaving the Giants, and sat down with them, talked to them each for like 10 minutes long, gave them an autograph, a picture, and would share stories from his time with the Giants and try to make up for Victor Cruz. So I think there are legitimately athletes like that who kind of get those big heads, and then they're just like, they forget where they come from, that it's a privilege, and it doesn't excuse how fans treat athletes, but also it doesn't excuse how athletes always treat fans. So I kind of...
All right, y'all. Well,
we're gonna end this. But hey, it's a wrap. Hey, but for Dion, get your final saying, and David and Melissa, get your final saying, and we're gonna end this.
Really quick. Hey, good win against the Panthers. On to the Falcons. A little bit more of a test because it's a mobile quarterback. But hey, great win for us. Nothing negative to say. We just got to keep going. Next man up when it comes to these injuries.
Yes, sir. All right, David.
So we're on to play the Falcons. And they got the QB that I actually wanted in Jimmy G's place. I wanted Mariota. But when it comes down to it, a football team wins, not the QB. Jimmy G, he's mid. He's not great. He's not bad. He's mid.
Yep.
And I mean, we're pretty much stuck with him. So, I mean, I'd say we ride or die, but that is not the case. We ride or die on our run game. And Jimmy G, I mean, the thing that bugs me about him is how he smiles after a loss and he's talking to the media. Come on, man.
That shit eating grin after every freaking interception pisses me off more than anything.
He's got to show something. Just show that you're mad that we lost. You know, don't smile and grin that we lost. Come on. So
I want to knock his damn teeth out if he does that again.
Oh, it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts too.
I'm glad I'm on the East Coast and I don't have to live anywhere near him because I just go probably psycho crazy if I live near him.
But right now we have a Super Bowl winning defense, and our offense needs to score points and sustain drives. That's all they need to do. They don't have to be fantastic.
All right.
But go Niners.
All right, Melissa, and this is it.
I was finally happy that what we've all kind of been worried about kind of changed yesterday, that we finally got to see Tevin Coleman and something else be used in the running game besides just Debo, Jeff Wilson Jr., and Kyle Juszczyk. I'm hoping that if the blocking issue is what's keeping Jordan Mason from playing, whether it's because he's struggling with the blocking scheming or if he's not willing to, that they continuously keep changing these guys out, because when our running game was strongest was 2019 when we're using the Tevin Colemans, the Matt Breidas, and the Raheem Mostert's all in the same game. I hope that continues, and it sucks that Emmanuel Mosley got hurt in a 1-year deal, and he's going to have a harder time now, and that he is gone for the year. But at the same time, I'm grateful that they actually did take advantage of the corner position, because I'm not as scared as we were back then when we had to get a Brian Allen or Kirkpatrick or Josh Norman. So I hope whomever they choose, whether it be Ambry Thomas or one of the others, that they hold up and that we can deal with that Bosa for a few weeks, because I think the worst thing we could do is force these guys back too soon. And I can't wait to see more Niner football, because it's finally fun again to watch this defense shine and not have the offense be such a liability that they're exhausted to the point where they let something go. So I think it's nice that the defense gets to shine and just show how special they really are now that offense isn't turning the ball over so much.
All right. Yeah, we'll just go on to the Falcons. We dominate this game. We still got a lot more to do, and we're going to have to overcome adversity. So on the high note,
I cannot wait for the revenge game of the Chiefs game.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, but on the right note, I'll see you guys next week on the 49ers Round Check, and we are out of here. Go Niners.
Peace.
Peace.